galloped away in the night. Changwei Town is a place that is not even marked on the township map. It is located in Province Y of Country Z. What Anran was holding was a hand-drawn map, which was written by her grandfather. The residential area of this town was planned very simply. The location of her grandfather's house was at the end of a certain street. On the way here, she had already taken the map. She has watched it many times, and now she can memorize it. It is said that this Rose Town is the birthplace of Grandma. 2 years ago, her grandmother was critically ill. When she was dying, she hoped that she could return to her hometown. In order to fulfill her last wish, her grandfather brought her ashes back to the small town. Later, her grandfather simply settled here. The family is worried about the old man living alone in the countryside, but her father has to take care of the martial arts gym, and her mother often travels on business, so this girl, who just entered high school, volunteered to go to the small town to accompany her grandfather. As dawn approached, the thick fog gradually dissipated, leaving only a thin layer. Anran was riding a silver locomotive, the headlights of which were particularly dazzling in such an early morning. Along the way, Anran saw some buildings in the small town which made her feel extraordinarily novel. Before coming to Changwei Town, Anran had always thought that this place would be a very backward village, and the buildings were also small rural bungalows made of red bricks. Unexpectedly, the architectural style here surprised her. For a while, she thought it was a European-style town built by investors. Speaking of which, the architecture of Changwei Town is somewhat similar to the small towns in Scotland. They are all small 2- and 3-story buildings surrounded by small fences. The area is quite spacious. Every household has a small garden of their own, which is also full of flowers. It's just that the style of Changwei Town looks a bit older. Some buildings are relatively large, surrounded by iron railings, and a white wreath hangs in the center of the iron railings.
Why hang white flowers? Isn't this unlucky?
Anran was a little curious, so she stepped forward to have a closer look, and it turned out that it was not an ordinary flower, but a wreath made of garlic flowers with a wooden cross placed in the middle.
Isn't it only mid-September?
Anran always felt that there was a sense of disobedience for how to arrange Halloween things so quickly, but she didn't think too much about it. Afterwards, Anran started the motorcycle again and never stopped along the way. After about 15 minutes, she finally arrived at the location on the hand-drawn map. In the mist, there stood a thin figure. The headlights of the car shot through the darkness, and the man raised his arms high to block the glare of the light.